Hello, everyone. Welcome. Man, I've been having some odd technical issues today, so forgive me if anything is weird, all right? I've just been having one of those days, and like things just don't want to work properly. So, yeah. Right now, my YouTube channel is not picking up the feed, which is really odd. Oh, now it is. It's so weird, man. I'm having one of those weird days where like tech is odd. Anyways, what is going on, everyone? Nice to see you all here. If you're here, say what's up. I'd love to talk to you and see how everyone is. The question today is, who are Bakkt? Oh my goodness. You don't know who Bakkt is? Bakkt is coming for your Bitcoin. And I'm going to explain why they're going to come for your Bitcoin and how they're going to come for your Bitcoin, because it actually will make a lot of sense once I get through all of this. And it is really interesting what's up here. Lila, nice to see you. It's great to have you on live. Anyone else who's watching, do say hello. It's really odd. YouTube's doing something weird today in terms of the encoder or something. And yeah, the internet can see me, but some of you guys can't. So it doesn't matter. Come say hello. Great to see you. Great to have you all here. And we're going to get started right now. So let's do it and talk about why Bakkt is coming for your money. They're coming for your Bitcoin. All right. And I'm going to explain to you how this is going to go down so that you can start to prepare yourself not only for Bakkt, but for the world, is also coming to a financial crisis probably in the next year. I know I've been saying that for about a year, but in about 1.5 years, we'll see a real global meltdown, in my opinion, after the election in the US. So let's get started on how this all wraps in together. Let's first go and talk about some of the bigger news, like Binance today launches Venus, and Venus is the solar system for Libra, which is Venus is the god of Libra or something like that, along those lines. Anyways, but it's a regional version of Libra, so they're kind of doing it to, I guess, fight back against the system in terms of fight back against Libra and what they're doing, which is quite interesting, I have to admit. And they believe that long-term stable coins are going to progressively replace fiat currencies, which I totally agree with. I mean, they're pretty much the exact same thing, but they're easier to use. You can't lose it as easily. Over time, it will be like that, at least anyways. Maybe not right now, but it's coming. And Venus open blockchain, it can be localized, stable coins pegged to different assets and currency, etc. So this is an interesting thing that Binance is going to provide full technical support, compliance, risk control systems, and so on and so forth, multidimensional cooperation networks to build Venus. So this is really, really interesting that they are doing that. I'd love to hear what you guys think about that whole Venus project. And if you don't know about it, go read about it. It will be in the description of the video. Now, I know a lot of you know me as a big fan of Cardano. I still am a big fan of Cardano. And the reason why I'm a big fan of Cardano is I believe in their team. Now, a lot of people think they're never going to come out with a product and Shelly's never going to be there. And if I'm wrong with Cardano, so be it. But I really, met with their team. I believe in what their vision is. And being someone who develops things with my partner, we realize that tech does sometimes take a little longer than you want. And that's just the reality of the situation. So they might be taking a little bit more time to do it the right way. And that I am actually A-okay with. There's nothing wrong with that. Hope everyone's having a great Monday getting started. So here's a really good question. Is it time to add 80/80 or Percy? How are they doing their staking differently from things like, EOS or Ethereum? And they're going to do it a really interesting way, because they're going to have a staking pool and a staking system so that you can actually get your cryptocurrency in and out super easily. And instead of like having these guys like in, for example, ADA, where they have those 21 block producers, these guys are going to do it in a different way, where like you just get a pool and you put all your ADA in a pool and you stake it. And then when you want to take it out, it doesn't matter. You can take it out at any point you like. So they're trying to do it in a different way, more decentralization, lower rewards, but they'll get bigger. Well, obviously at the start, they'll be really rewarding, but as like any other cryptocurrency that does staking, as you get bigger, you get less. And that's just okay, in my opinion. So it's interesting. They have some cool logistics. You can read into it more extensively. But will this save Cardano? Not really, I don't think. I think we need to see Shelly go fully online and really show us what we've been waiting for. Now, this is another really interesting feature here that Bakkt is considering additional crypto futures contracts. Well, we already know that there are several exchanges like FTX that popped up, BitMEX, obviously, SnapX, Deribit, Bybit, etc. Right? So we know there's a lot of opportunities for these guys to come in and with their backing being backed, coming to take your Bitcoin, they are going to do some really interesting stuff. So they're looking at probably what I'm going to assume, well, they'll start with this BTC and ETH, but I guarantee that they'll look at things like Tezos. I'm pretty sure they'll look at maybe to be devil's advocate, they might look at BSV, because BSV and everyone hates, Craig Wright. No one likes it. But there's some stuff that they've actually been developing that's quite interesting on the tech side. So I'm curious to see if that works. Maybe BCH. Definitely not Tron. Tron, unfortunately, like I've been saying for about, 12 months, maybe less, but pretty much almost a year I've been saying Tron's a scam. It was 800 sats when I said it. Now it's 100 something sats. I just don't believe in someone who can constantly make stuff up and make announcements of announcements. It's just not going to work well. Let's get to what you guys are all here for, the charts. Let's see what's going on or guanin in the charts. Let's look first and talk about, wow, what's been going on with Bitcoin. She done woke up, didn't she? So over the weekend, the volume was extremely low. And, this is our beautiful hammer candle that happened when we broke down to that 94.50 range when Binance went offline. And ever since that, we've had a nice steady high growth of higher lows. 1 higher low, 2 higher lows, 3 higher lows, 4 higher lows, 5 higher lows. So we've been steady grinding up. And we have a bearish TK twist right here. So I'm bearish Kumo twist, sorry, that I've been looking at. And this is on the total market cap. This is just overall the money coming in and out of Bitcoin, what's actually happening here. So that's something interesting to keep your eyes on. We do have a break in the Kijun, which is interesting, and we'll have to keep our eyes on it. Now, looking over at our Gapia kiss over here, we do see on the CME futures that there still is a gap to fill. We do not have an edge-to-edge opportunity, at least not on the 4-hour, because this is a green cloud. Could we jump right through all of it and get to the top? Absolutely, but it's not likely. Usually if we go an edge-to-edge, as you can see on this one, it is usually on a bearish cloud with a TK cross and a movement up. So that's something interesting to keep your eyes on as well. We do have a bearish Chiku span still, and this is just a 4-hour. If we go on the daily, we have similar things like that. Here's a big gappy kiss that we still have over there, but we got really close to touching it. So that's why sometimes I'm skeptical if we're actually going to touch it or not. So that was our big Binance offline, higher low, higher low, higher low. Now we got to break the Kijun, and we could end up going back and towards this gap and filling it. Keep your eyes on that. Let's do a little fib quickly on the CME here and see where we could end up. So we did a nice 786 retrace, more from the fact that this was offline. We bounced up. Now we're going towards that 50% retrace. Are we going to hit it? I don't know. But remember, this is CME, so the numbers are a little bit different. And that is something also to keep your nose and your eyes on, okay? Here we have, let me just go to our, that's our most recent. So let's go to our most recent and see where we're at. Where could we end up next? So if we keep pushing up, you can see us going towards that 11,598. This is on a daily, so it might take a couple days or even a week to get there. But then we have to go and try to fill this gap. So the 382. This is going to be a ways away. If we do it the traditional way here, let's look where we're at. We're looking at that 10,800 range, and we break through that to get to that 10,000 or 11,300, which is a number that's probably rings a bell for you. A lot of times it dumped, a lot of the times it pumped off of that number. So look for that 11.3 area. Does it happen this week? Probably not, but I've been wrong before about this. Let's just check it out. Thanks, Brian. Nice to see you, brother. And let's just jump into Bitcoin. So someone asked me this morning, I think it was you, Brian, how is Bitcoin looking? I mean, overall, the structure has been looking fantastic. I mean, look at it's doing right here. It's been just kind of getting a little bit higher and a little bit higher and a nice breakout candle here. A second, let me see if I can get some volume. So our volume has been quite low over the weekend, very, very low. But this volume today could still pump a lot more too. So we have to keep our eyes on that. and eyes on the prize, as they always say. We do have, you know, a bearish TK cross here, so we haven't really got through and kind of making a C clamp. So let's see if we can still grind it out and keep grinding up higher. I think we will, personally. And so we have to just keep our eyes on the prize, like I said. BitMEX-wise, this is my most detailed chart, as you guys probably know. We have several buy areas, and what we can see here is we're looking for certain things like I'm looking for this 10,783. I told people yesterday that we're going to try and grind up towards that number, 10,800. And I said we'd probably touch it and come back down. And I mean, we got really, really, really close to doing that. And on the 4 hour, another thing that I noticed is we touched the Kijinsen. So that's another thing that we also had to look at. And I did have my lines for breaking out already drawn today, this morning, when Brian asked me to. So there we go. Mark, it's been awesome, man. How you been, brother? I hope you've been doing well. Joe, okay, let me see who's here. How is Bakkt going to make BTC rekt? I'm going to explain that in a second. So very good asking. Institution shorting? Yes. Joe, nice to see you. Which indicator is best in trading? Vane, I use the Ichimoku pretty religiously, and the reason why I do is because it's so freaking accurate using it with Fib compared to other ways of people trading, but I still use a lot of the other things that many other traders use, right? I use still trend lines and things like that, but I drew this trend line this morning looking at like it looked like it was going to bust right through, and it did. It busted right through. I mean, I told Brian, I think it was at 10 o'clock this morning, that we got to look for that, and you know, it went all the way and touched the Kijin twice now. Next thing you have to look for is, are we going to break through that Kijinsen and push even higher? That's what I'm looking for next. That's why I'm saying 11.3, but on a shorter time frame, 11.100. That's where I'm looking at next. Backstreet's back. All right. So what's going to happen with Bakkt? Here's what I suspect will happen. I'm going to show you guys the CME. I'm going to go back right down here to where the CME opened way back in the day. Do you guys see what happened last time someone opened a futures market? They opened the futures market, and I'm just going to really show you perfect example of where they opened it. They opened the futures market at $20,649. Then what happened? Well, we got all the way down in not even that long to $6,000 on the dot. Yes, on the dot. Okay? What does this mean? What it means is simple. If this new futures market comes on, and I know we started a bear market when they came on, so it's interesting. Good morning, Leo. Morning. Good afternoon, Timothy. And so what will this all kind of ramp up to be and equal in the end? Bakkt is going to do some really interesting things. And the first most interesting thing they're going to do is exactly what they did here. They came online and they killed the whole entire market. Look at that. Boom, all the way down, 85% they came online. Do you really think with the CME doing something like that, and then, okay, I said up here, this is going to pump, that's going to pump. There's the arrows. I knew it was coming in April. I told many people April. So hopefully some of you got in there. We know that when they come on, what's happened before? So here's where we're at right now, okay? Let me show you something as well, just to keep your minds really, you know, on the ball, okay? Let me keep you on the ball for one more second before I go into some other stuff. So we have this. Where is Bitcoin? Where are you? It's disappeared on me. Let me just do this real quick. I want to show you guys using Bitfinex what happened before, or Bitstamp. Doesn't really make a difference, does it? All right, here's what happened before. So we had that run up, right? So we have this beautiful run up, right, all the way up. And then they come online and they go all the way down. And what do you think's really going to happen when we've had all the way run up? You think when Bakkt comes on, they're not going to dump the price like crazy? They are. The average user, and I know you guys are probably thinking this, are going, well, Bakkt's going to come online. It's going to bring liquidity to the market. It's going to pump the price up, and we're going to be all rich. Wrong. Wrong. Think like a criminal. Don't think like a normal person, because they're criminals. They're going to take your money. Now, I'm not saying Bakkt is bad. I'm not saying some people are actually criminals. But what I'm saying is that if you think the way the Wall Street players think, they are going to sit there and go, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to come in and we're going to dump the price to make it cheaper for us. People are going to panic sell and give us more of their Bitcoin. That's what they want you to do. Now, as we know, our whales, our buddies that are whales, mine that are whales, they never sell their Bitcoin. They're not going to sell it. They could dump it to like $1,000. They're still not going to sell it. These people are not going to sell their Bitcoin, maybe a little bit for living, but not actually sell it, right? And so what I think will happen is we'll see a little bit of a really push, like we'll see like a dump off, and then we'll start to see a next rally. I don't know if that's going to happen in a month or 2 months, you know, after they're online, but I don't think we'll have a dump like we did last time. We're not going to do one of these. We're not going to have like a whole huge dump, but we will probably see some disbelief, and it will dump really hard, something like along this line, a couple $1,000 dump, and it will be something that people will freak out a little bit about, and that's exactly what they want. What are my Ichimoku settings? 20, 60, 120, 30. That is absolutely correct if you're using crypto. If you are not using crypto, traditional settings for traditional markets like the SPX, the DJI, the VIX, and anything else that you like to trade, gold, oil, etc. Okay? All right, now let's look at some Ethereum, because ETH has had a hell of a pump this week. Okay, so let me just bust this in. Ethereum did something similar to Bitcoin, dumped to 173. People started calling it dead. It was the right time. Whenever you hear people getting doomy and gloomy about Bitcoin and you're someone who's a vet, you sit there and you go, nice. That means I should buy a little bit. Not all of it. You don't throw your whole stack in, you know. I'm not giving financial advice here, but you buy some if you're me. If I'm doing it, it's me, I'm going to buy some. What am I going to do when Bakkt comes online? I'm very likely going to open a small short, and if it starts to dump, I'm going to add more to that short. Why? Because that's what I'm expecting to happen. Why? Because many other people expect it to pump. An average person that watches my show knows that I won't say this stuff if I'm not pretty certain. I'm pretty certain this will happen. It's probably 90% certain this is going to happen. Now, if it doesn't, I will have another side ready to long the crap out of Bitcoin if it does go. But the average user out there that's coming into crypto thinks Bakkt's going online. We know the ICE exchange. We know about all these, you know, big players coming in like TD Ameritrade and Greystone and Eris, right? So they're going to pump it. And that's the reason why I'm going to have a short ready right when this happens. Okay. So just hedge, be smart. Question, will they dump by selling on spot exchanges, right? And then hedge on futures and make more BTC? Yes. Yes, they very likely will do that. Very good. Very good. They will dump it. The price will dump on the market because they're holding a ton too, right? They're going to dump it on the market. People are going to panic because they're buying it right away. They'll buy it and they'll go, oh crap, and they'll sell it and they'll lose a lot of money. And yes, they'll probably be either in the futures market or they'll hedge out into gold or something else that is a very reliable asset, even cash. And then when it dumps, they're going to rebuy it in more because who are they selling it? Bakkt is selling it to you guys. They're selling it to average users. They want to make it easy for you to take your phone out and go beep, 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 and then you can actually buy it simply. That is the deal right there. That's the whole deal with the whole situation. They want to make it super easy for all of you guys to buy. I'm seeing Facebook has a really weird connection issue right now. On YouTube, it looks beautiful. If you guys want to join me on YouTube and you're new, go on the YouTube link. I'll throw it in the description there. Okay. Now, any questions about what coins you guys would like to know or see today? I'm going to go through a few, but give me some that you would like to request me to look into and give some TA on. All right, Stellar XLM at the bottom forming a falling wedge, 1 day, 3 day, week time frames. Please check. Okay, very good. Thank you for that. Let's go have a look at XLM. Now, about when did they do their $125 million airdrop? When they did that, I believe it was right around near like this local top. No, it was even longer ago than that. Let's go on the daily. Hold on a sec. They had a airdrop that they did near the end of last year, 2018, 2019. And it was somewhere when we had some stability here. They airdropped $125 million. $125 million onto suspecting people. And yes, it's very, very bottomed out. It's never been this low before. So it's another one of the alts that are at all-time low. It's gonna ride till it can't no more. I'm gonna hold these bags till the all-time low. I'm gonna sell off my XLM to you. I don't know. I didn't know what to do, but you know, XMR, I'll definitely be checking Monero out for you guys. Are you guys also seeing that Facebook has a horrible connection right now, or is it just me? Because it looks absolutely atrocious. Okay, let's get at it. All right. Do we have a falling wedge? Let's see. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's really hard to call something at the bottom here. It's not. I mean, let's look on the weekly and see what we see here. XLM. I mean, a falling wedge, it looks like more like it's diving. I mean, can you even draw on a weekly something like that? Like, it's so dead. I don't know how to even draw something like that. It's pretty much like, I don't know. It needs a sign of reversal. Like, I'm trying to see it here. XLM, yeah, bot guy, man. XLM is super wrecked. Like, I don't even know how to even explain what's going on. Like, here's what happened. It was kind of sideways. It had its last primary movement, and then it had a mini secondary movement, another secondary movement, another secondary movement, and then it's like, blah, sputter, sputter, sputter. Eesh, not looking so good. So, XLM, I don't know. I wouldn't be in it. I would know that if I was in it, I would have been selling off all of my XLM. When they gave me my free XLM. I did sell my $25 to XLM because I knew there was no way in hell that this doesn't dump like crazy. So that's just something to keep in mind, okay? All right. Let's go on and do the next one, shall we? XMR. Do you want to see US dollar or do you want to see BTC? Because I believe Poloniex and some other people actually took it off their... What did they do? They took XLM off of their, whoa, what happened there? They took XLM off of their exchange. Sorry, my brain just like totally farted there for a second. Sorry, I've been at it all day. So, you know, we see Monero. It's super sideways. Like, it could actually break out from this type of a movement here. It's kind of like in this mini, I mean, it's kind of looking dead-ish, but maybe there'll be some life. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not going to count that one wick because, I mean, you could count it, I guess. So, I mean, it's got wicks and it touches the top and then comes back to the bottom. If it keeps touching the bottom, what usually happens is it breaks down and goes like this. It goes, yeah, I'm Monero and I'm having a bad day. And it goes, now, I'm just saying, like, it could also go the other way, but if it needs to kind of get to that top area again and break it this time because it hasn't broke. Now, that's on the 3 days, so let's look on a shorter time frame. One day it did try to break out, like right there, and we didn't really get there. Now, are we doing a TK cross anytime? Not yet. We need to see a TK cross or something, but we do have a C-clamp formation, which maybe will bring us higher, but yeah. Bearish pennant, looks like it's going to continue down. I agree completely with you, Tristan. It doesn't look good for Monero. It did have a nice pump over the weekend, so it kind of made people excited, but nothing to be excited for unless you see it get out of this, and it doesn't look like it's going to be completely honest. It looks pretty bad. It looks shady. Unfortunately. I wish I could give you guys better news about some. Let's look at Link BCH. Okay, so someone at BCH, let's do that one first. And then we'll go on to do some more. BCH. What does it say? Nibilo. Nibilo's coming. I forgot. Yes, Nibilo as well. Streaming at 3G looks fine. Yeah, Steve, I think it was just my own settings because I'm on like live and stuff at the same time. Because I just make sure that it's working. Okay, so BCH, it kind of sputtered. It had a little bit of a sputter effect. It came up. It came down and broke into the cloud and sputtered in. Now it's kind of below the cloud. So kind of like it had like a bullish movement and a bearish movement. So, I mean, this might be because of Bitcoin. If we're looking at it on the US dollar side, it probably looks a little bit better, to be honest. I mean, no, it really doesn't. That's interesting, actually. So it's kind of sideways. I mean, we want to draw a box around this bad boy. We can see that this is a very sideways movement. It's not really going anywhere anytime soon. It's been stuck in this rut, like around here to there, if we want to draw it, like kind of in that, like, it's up and down. But anyway, we break out of this box. We had a nice break. We could see actual real movement on it. But right now, it's just kind of not saying, it's not really going anywhere. Question, can you suggest a safe stable coin? TUSD I really like. If you guys haven't followed me, if you're new, Varane, I think I'm saying your name right. Use TUSD. Nebilo. What the heck? How do you what's Nebilo again? NEB. There we go. Okay. God, I couldn't figure it out. NEBL. Okay, Nebilo. It tried to get in there. You know, it's kind of close, but then it failed. You know, we had this bullish TK cross right there, and it wanted to go, and then it failed. But let's look at against USD to see if there's any difference. But I will tell you, Varane, that I think that, to be really honest, I think... Hold on. Let me just type this in before my brain loses its thought. I do think that, you know, there's a lot of hate for TUSD. I don't know if they're really a scam, though. Like, it's hard to say. Nebilo looks like shit. I'm just going to say it like that because exactly what I call it as it is. Like, just up, it looks like manipulation. Like, it looks like a DEX. This is what happens on the DEX where it goes up and down, up and down. It's just like people playing in the market making right here. That looks bad. That doesn't look good at all. You know, I don't know what to say about it unless there's some other thing I'm missing here. Let me check another. Oh my God, on that time frame. Like, I mean, we're making higher lows. I guess that would be a positive right here. We're making higher lows, but only on a short term so far. But I mean, there's no real volume there. Let's check. Yeah, the volume is pretty much dead. I mean, what do you have in volume? 200K in a day? Today's volume is like 100K. Oh, that's brutal, man. Just being really honest, that doesn't look good. All right. ETH, Link. Okay, Link we got. Let's do some linkage. Link's been weird. You know, they dumped $500 million onto the market, and it seems like it keeps coming back. That might be because of the Google partnerships. I don't really know, to be completely honest. I can't tell you why. But, you know, it seems that it's got a really strong community, and it just, even when it wants to come down, it just keeps coming back up. It would have been a great buy at the bottom on this tweezer bottom here and just gone in there. We did have a bearish TK cross there on the 4 hour. Let's see how it looks. 4 hour is a bullish TK cross, and now it's using the Tenkin as as a support line. We do have something drawing up here, a nice tweezer bottom. Will it bounce off of there? It might bounce. We'll have to wait and see. But has it had a nice move? Absolutely. Link looks good. It doesn't look bad. It's trading above the cloud on the 4 hour. We have you know, a nice Kumo twist to the positive side. It's you know, bullish. The only thing I don't really like is when the Chiku span is kind of trading within the candle, so it's kind of like doesn't really know where it wants to go next. But that's the only thing I don't really like about it. All right, so let's see. Ethereum I did, Bitcoin I did, on USD. Okay, ETH USD, let's check out. I think I did use ETH USD. So it was a buy opportunity I wrote down there last week. Okay, so we have a buy opportunity on ETH. It kind of bottomed out, and then it broke out of the wedge that it had made right here. It looks very similar to Bitcoin, to be honest. Had like a little wedge that it developed like that, and like this. It had like this nice little wedge. Once it broke out, it would have been a good trade to get on to buy it on the breakout of the wedge, and it's had a nice move. It even broke above the Kijun-sen on the 4 hour, so it could continue. I would just keep your eye on it because, as we know, if we dump, we're gonna dump hard, right? That's the unfortunate side of things here. Okay. We want UST. Okay, XRP has gone through a FUD cycle, and I kind of expected this. Not kind of. I told people this was going to happen at 50 cents. And anyone in my group will tell you I said we're going to hit 50 cents and drop until like November or October. So we're going to see that, right? Joe play in the background. Keep the fire going. There you go, man. Thanks, Jordan. Okay, so what we see here is we see a BART down and a BART back up. You know, typical crypto stuff that's going on there. We had a similar wedge that came and we broke out. So we had a Kijun break, and now we're kind of moving on up. But the volume as well is still very low. Like, this is XRP, and their volume is only like, you know, 10, 15, 5, 8 million. It's really low for XRP. And we'll have to just kind of wait and see where it gets to. I just think it's going to sputter for a while. I mean, I really believe we won't break 36, 37 cents for quite some time. I mean, I'm going to draw this and I'm going to leave it here till September, October. Let's draw it all the way till November. I'm going to draw it all the way to November. So let's leave it like this. I think we won't get out of this range until November. That's where we're going to stay in. We might go up, we might go down, we might go a little bit lower, but that's where we're probably going to stay for XRP at this point. Absolutely bots and manipulated. Can you see it hugging the top of that formation too? Absolutely, I did, yeah. And explain what a BART is. Okay, so a BART. Does anyone know what Bart Simpson is? Right, you probably know Bart Simpson. I'll just show you a picture. Bart Simpson. All right, and I'm going to show you what a BART means. Okay, so you see how his hair is like this, right? You see Bart Simpson's head, how his hair is like do 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 do, and so a BART is like we go up we have a pump, we kind of sit there and go up and down, and we BART back down, or we do the opposite and we go and you flip this upside down, and you can see the same thing. So Bart Simpson upside down, and we can see that when it BARTs this way, it goes down, it sputters, and it comes back up. I want to show you something really interesting. Let's go to BTC for that one. I'll show you several BARTs that have happened. Okay, here's a BART. Comes down, sputters, and pumps. That's not a really good example of one though. This is a better example. So here we see it pumps up. It goes all the way up. It BARTs down. We have BARTs up too. It can go up as well. So let me just do this on the daily. It usually provides a better example. Oh my goodness, there's too much stuff going on there. There's too much stuff going on my chart. Hold on a second here. All right, let's see if we can find a better example. On a short time frame, maybe it might be easier to see. We had a couple of them on the 15-minute time frame, so let's look. All right, so you see how this looks like Bart Simpson's head? Here we go. So BART up. Comes in and staggers. If it comes back down, and we'll drop below this line, or at least test it. So we'll make a Bart Simpson. And then I even do this sometimes with some of my members in our crew. I'll even draw like a picture of Bart Simpson in here and then say we'll probably do something like that. So this is something that happens a lot in crypto. It's a manipulative pattern, or it's something that bots do, but yes, it's something that will happen. What did I suggest to hedge against Bakkt against potential dump? Okay, so if I'm going to hedge, we're going to go into cash. Cash is always going to be king until it's not. Even though I'm a huge crypto fan, cash is always king. You know, we need to keep that around until we don't need it anymore. So cash, stable coins, gold, silver, metals, these are things that you can hedge into. But if you're looking at like the shorter term, like, okay, it might last a month, then just go into stable coins, buy low, and then you're good to go, right? So sell high, buy low, you're good to go. Keep that as like your rhyme, right? Buy low, sell high, not so good, right? Buy low, sell high, no. Buy high, sell low, you're good to go, all right? Or are you? Sorry, I just want to screw with people today. Bots, just Google Bart Simpson crypto, you'll see it. Yes, you will. Okay. Now let me just get back to being back to not being silly here. I want to show you a really good example of a Bart Simpson right here. Down, up. So if I put Bart Simpson's head right here, you would have seen it. You'd see it like perfectly. All right. Other cryptos that we were here to do. Bread. Okay. Let's do bread, and then I'm gonna leave because it's already getting late. Bread US dollar. Let's check out that first. Wow, bread has been on a mission. How have I missed that? we're on the 15-minute, but Jesus. It had a really nice move like a month ago, but man, on the US dollar, it's on its wave one. It's on its wave 3 maybe even, or maybe this is just wave 1. But we have a really nice movement on bread. Man, Tristan, you should have shown me this, dude. Man, it's a good one. So we had this really nice strong, wow, has it ever gone, it's gone parabolic, 200% in 149 days. Jeez Louise, out of nowhere. And then it had a nice move down, and now it's on a move back up. Ooh, 60% in 9 days. Where have I been sleeping? Well, here's what happens. you get so bearish on the alts, you kind of like avoid them. You're like, ugh, alts. It's like, you know, that person you won't touch with a 10-foot pole. That's kind of how I feel about alts right now. And like, I'm starting to warm up to them a little bit at a time, you know, a little bit. But then I see Bitcoin pump like $400 or $500, and I'm like, ooh. So it might be in wave 3 on the 4-hour on the secondary movement chart. So, but on the macro chart, it's on wave 1. So wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. This one would have to go all the way to probably to the Kijinsen. It might still be a trade. And we see that it's kind of bounced off the Tenkan as support. A great time to get in, guys, if you want some education here. When you see a tweezer bottom like this, it's a really good opportunity to get into a trade when it's bouncing off 2 areas. 1 being the top of the cloud, which is a support. 2 being very close to the Kijinsen, which is also support. And if we go and do something as simple as drawing a fib, you will see something very interesting here. Watch where we go. Watch where it goes. That's 786. The average trade will go to the 618, the 50, or the 382. 786 is when it dips and has a dip movement, which is exactly what we had because of Binance. Another thing we can look at is this. Where is our next move down going? If this is done, where is the next move going to come to? Well, it's not the Kijinsen yet, but you know, Kijinsen usually acts as a 50% retrace point at all times. But I would say that if this is the top of the next move, and we've already come down and touched the 382, we might have been done, and now it's going to continue on. But generally, usually what happens is if it keeps failing at this level of resistance, which we see right here on... I'll draw this line right here. If we see it fail again and again against this resistance over and over again, and we look back and we can see that there was also resistance in the past there, and it acted as support in the past and flipped, that's something that would tell me that maybe it will fail and come back down before it goes on the next leg up. So keep your eyes on that. It did definitely come down to a level where it could, but that's on 1 candle. I would expect for it to come to the 50% of the Kijinsen if it's finished. It might not be finished. But here's one thing to remember. When the Kijin goes flat, that's when it pulls it back. Okay? Kijin goes flat, it will pull it right back. And I'll show you examples of this. Kijin goes flat right here. It pulls it all the way back to the Tenkan. Kijin goes flat right there. It pulls it all the way back to next candle, right? And we do this on, if we do this on a daily chart, it even shows it better. You'll see how far away it gets. So it got super far away and then it flattened out. Here is an anomaly, honestly. Right there is an anomaly. Usually when we get flat, it pulls it right back. This one was just super sideways. But if we look, generally when we get down here and it's flattening out, it will pull it back. But bread seems to be different than Bitcoin. Bitcoin always pulls back when it does this. I'll show you as an example so you understand what I'm saying. Every time Bitcoin goes flat, here it went flat. It pulled it right back. Here it went flat. It was pulling it back. Here it went flat. After pumping up, it pulled it right back. Right? Here it went flat, but that was kind of both. It pulled it one way, pumped, and then pulled it back the other way. This is something that I've noticed about Bitcoin. Whenever it flattens out, it will either pull it back this way or it will pull it back that way. And this is why I love Ichimoku, because it makes it super easy for a new person into crypto or a new trader at all to actually understand what to look for when they're trading. It will tell us that when we're flattening out, this is a good time to look at it and see where we might be going. So if we're going flat here, another example. Crypto went flat over here on the top. This was pretty much the top, one of the top candles right there. It went flat right here on this one. And then on this candle, pulled it back, pulled it back, pulled it back. Then it went below it, went into the buy zone I had here, pulled it back, and then it was flat again and it pushed it back down. And then it was flat again, it pulled it back up. And then it's flat again and it's pulling it back down. And you can just see this over and over again. Now, here we're not flat, so this could continue on up until it flattens out. If it does flatten out, even better. It'll flatten out right at the 11,500 mark. Okay? So yeah, it was a great setup to miss. And BTC is booming. Absolutely. Look at that daily candle, baby. She going good. I love it. This is such a beautiful girl. I love it. Yeah, I know. I'm not singing it right, but yeah. Wow. Bitcoin, baby. Whew. Now, on the 4-hour, are we going to break that Kijin? We did. Wow, we tested it. So we're looking in 9 minutes. Whoa. In 9 minutes, this could go for a real run. If we test this, if this Kijin tests and we start to, if the next candle starts to move, we're going to move nicely. Very, very nicely. Let's look at where our next goal would be to get to. All right. Let's see. Where are we going to go to if we get all the way up there? Oh wow, we're gonna go to that 11,150 top of this cloud over here if we really start to break out. What I think will happen is they're baiting. This is baiting people into buying right now, and what very much will happen is this will fail and drop down a bit, and it will come back down to the 786 area right here. I think that's very likely to happen because it's a really big candle after like no movement at all in the market. And let's just have a look quickly. I think we would pull back at least to 10,470 before our next leg up. I would expect it. Okay, so just something to keep your mind on is we could have this happen, and then we could move up higher to that 11,150. I think that's very possible to happen. It might not be as high, but that's something that will come. If Bakkt will dump, won't it pump first? Yes, 100%. 100%. You're definitely right, Dave. Bakkt will pump it. Everyone will get euphoric, and then we'll see it dump like a machine. Okay. Before I go, I just want to look at the other markets here. And there's way too much hype. I agree. I got in on the hype, but you know, get in on the hype. Why not, right? Get in on them. Never hurts to make some money. Okay. So this is where this morning I said we had our buy signal. That was at 10:30 a.m. my time. And now we're at here. So, you know, if you're listening, if you're in my group and you listened to me this morning, said that it could possibly go to 10,800 and we're pretty much there. 8 hours ago, you would have made, you know, 4% times 10x, 12x, whatever you were using. Pretty good profits for a day for sure. And we'll have to see it keep going. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Will it continue on up? That's the next question we'll have to figure out on our own, okay? So that's what you're looking for, everybody. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you all on Friday. If you have coins that you want me to look into a little more, maybe give some fundamental and technical analysis, throw that into the YouTube channel comments. And if we get to 30 comments, I'm looking for 30 comments on one video from everybody. I'm going to start giving away free crypto every single time I'm on a show. But until I get to that 30, I'm not giving away anything. So this is on you guys to tell your friends and people to get some free crypto. Basically, they come, they watch, they comment, they message on the video. And after that's done, we'll be doing it. And that counts for other videos that I do this week as well, Bitcoin updates and things like that. Just comment, like, smash them up. You know what it is. All right, guys, have yourselves a great day. I'll see you all on Friday. And don't forget, comment, like, smash them up, and let me know what you guys want. That's what I'm here for. Take it easy, everybody. Have yourselves an awesome Monday wherever you are in the world. Coach K, signing off.